So white has all moved. Dingo Jake here is trying to get to the vault. Spartacus is hanging out in the opening to the colonial. He has a card. And he's kind of a bad mamma jamma anyway in melee. So he's going to park right there. They have the advantage. Not so worried about keeping that advantage, but at the time there was quite a bit. I think these, well, maybe not. But he wanted to park here, and he's a pretty good tank, so he's going to hang out. Private Sanchez is slowly making his way. He needs a card, so he's going to try to get into the modern and do some damage. Arden Glenn's over there, still hanging out in the team base. He's on the Vortex. He's going to try to heal Kit Carson, and then I'll bring this up here so I don't have to move so much. We have Syriach and Sienya in the Ancient Labyrinth. So we'll do Arden Glenn first. It's Justice. He has a +2 for Justice. +2 is a fail. So he is dismissed. 2 green. Yeah. So he's going to go out here. We'll check these guys. Syriach gets the Coliseum free-for-all. He gets 0 bonuses. So he's pink or future, and then he doesn't match either of these. Melee. He's at a +2 on melee. He has an 8. So let's see what happens. Attacker's better by 2. He fails. So she's not going to have much of a chance either. Although the spread's pretty wide on these. So he's mortally stricken. You realize that freedom matters little to you now. So just dismissed, not banished or anything. So he goes to blue. Like I said, he's future, so he's going to go out here to try to get into the future. So she's there. She can refuse to try this, or she could beg mercy and try to get rid of that. She's not liking her chances. She's at +1, so she'll go ahead and beg for mercy just to get rid of that. And then she'll get dismissed as well. 2 blue. Okay, so there's no blue, so now she gets to pick where she goes. And so there's black here, there's black all around here, but she wants to get back here, so she'll go ahead and hang out there. So I think that's it for white. Not too successful of a turn, but they're probably going to be able to do some damage here. But black is looking like they're getting ahead. He's about to face some, depending on what happens here. Although this could cause some trouble. So we'll keep going. Alright, I know I said I was going to focus on the white team, but black went ahead and challenged Spartacus here. Mr. Diaz El Gato has a +2 in fighting with blades. And he has a blade, so he's going to be even. And then the way melee works is whoever has the highest wits. This is another change from Duel of Ages 1. Now there's wits and intelligence, which I guess are slightly different. So wits is going to go in order of wits. These guys are both 7. So is Spartacus. So the active player will go first. So they're going to get 2 shots at him before he can react. This guy, not great, but I mean he's pretty good in melee. So Diaz will show his knife. So he's at +1 damage, +1 react, +2 react, +2 melee. So he's at 8. against Spartacus is 6, so he's +2. He misses. That sucks. Boris is 7 against 6, so he's +1. See, what the heck? So he hits. And then we're going to look at damage. It's penetration versus shield. His shield is 3, his penetration is 4, so he's at +1. +1 is +0. His damage is 2. Spartacus takes 2 damage. Just like that. So it goes pretty smoothly, right? So his melee is 8. His react is 6, so he's a +2. That's a hit. Penetration is 4 against 3, +1. +1 damage. So Boris is going to take 3 damage. So that did not work out for the black team at all. Theoretically, they should have done a lot better than that. His miss really hurt. Although Spartacus has 5 damage, or 5 hit points that he can take. You know, they would have hoped to do at least 4. Oh well. So that's all for melee. The muscle out there in the lith is going to get to do a strength challenge. And +2 adventure against strength challenges. So that's a 5. He's a 5. That's 8 here, so he's +5. What the heck? Attacker's better by 5. It's just a squeak. What the heck? That is the... That's the Obsidian Fang. He must dismiss 1 ally. Well, that sucks. So we'll go ahead and dismiss William to blue. And then he's dismissed to gray. That should have gone a lot better. Alright, back to white. Alright, we are back. We've been through 8 turns here. I've kind of set the camera down for a little while. As it stands, I think black is ahead. They both only have 1 marker on the board. They've been fighting a lot in the colonial. But white has 2 players dead. From things like that. The situation that I showed over here did end up in black's favor. Spartacus died. Kit Carson actually tried to help, not realizing that his melee is terrible. Kind of got in a scuffle, tried to get away, and then got hunted down and slaughtered, basically. There was a scuffle in the woods here that I didn't show, but with Arden Glen, one of the new things in the game is auras, and certain things can and can't happen within their aura, and he can't attack if he's within 2 of an enemy or allied marker. It's early, if you can tell. So I think we'll leave it there. We'll do a little bit more adventuring. There is an auto victory in this game that if you have more than double the people alive, you win automatically. They're still kind of far from that. Jade's close, or the closest to dying. So maybe they're going to shoot for that. 12 turns isn't, I mean, there's 4 more turns left. So we need to get to adventuring. Black has 2 on the board. I didn't see that one there. So they're doing pretty well. Correcting an error, I think I mentioned that this is +1 for the whole team. It's actually just for characters of that age. So the ancients are +1 adventuring, but not the other ages for black right now. So that's cool, because then it's not super powerful. And it came up because my question was, well, what if I have 2? Do they get +2? Well, no, it's only for that age. You can see black's kind of ruling the middle of the board. They were for a while with Perendor being up there with his long-range crossbow. He had a good line of fire, and he was kind of lighting it up. But he decided to go adventuring and got kicked off. Okay, maybe I need to be recording more. We're at the end of turn 9. Oh, what was this guy's name? Sergeant. Or General Gavin. I wanted to say Sergeant Grit. General Gavin is dead. Tried walking through here to get to the modern, and Sniper Private Sanchez took him out with his flamethrower. Did quite a bit of damage. Didn't have a great chance of hitting, but once he hit, he toasted him up. I think that's most of everything. Jade got an elite card from her adventuring. William Wallace also got one. So things might get a little hairy next turn. Actually, while we're here, we can go ahead and set this up. She got a raptor. It's a hunter. You can just unleash it. Oh, okay, so she can't unleash this now because you have to have line of sight. And in a dome, you don't have line of sight to anything. So we'll keep that out there. Spoilers, but William Wallace also got a hunter. He got a hawk. So those elite cards are pretty cool. So we'll do the white movement. Again, they need to adventure and try to get ahead on this board. Okay, we are back at the end of white's move. Jade gave her raptor to Sriach because she can't use it anyway. That was a mistake. So now he wants to get to where he can see line of sight, but no one was close. All of black is kind of down here and up there. White's kind of sticking in themselves up here, trying to make some headway up here, trying to get their +1 to hit on these guys. And then everyone else is pretty much in the future labyrinth. Arden Glenn crushed it with his last adventure. Got 2 bonuses. Some of the adventuring cards down here, if you amaze, you get these bonuses here based on your honor, which is this crown. So you get to draw a card and look at this honor until it's resolved. So Jade would get 2 cards because her honor isn't better than 9 or equal to or better than 9. So she would get 1 for 2, and you can go to the dome of your choice, right, and then draw another one. So he kind of made out. One of them was you can stay in place instead of being dismissed or banished. So he got to hang out there, which is cool. And then the next one was you can banish 2 allies. So he ended up banishing 2 black players out there. So we'll resolve this. So we have Private Sanchez here, and he is going to be a +3 because he's modern, nuclear, and a warrior. So he's +3 on his react. His react is 4, so that gets him equal to the 7. So attacker is better by 0. That is a fop. So he is banished. So now the black player gets to decide where he goes. And the black player is going to put him way out there. Jade gets to do hers. It's react. I didn't see that it was react when she went in there. So she's going to be +2. So she's going to be -2. Defender is better by 2. So she still passes, which is good. So she gets to remove this, and you do these in order. Right? So she removes it, she gets 2 cards, and then she gets dismissed. She gets 2 cards, so she's going to go ahead and take an elite. That is pretty rad. She can't use it, but she can meet up with somebody And she's fast enough that she can meet up with people. And then she gets dismissed to blue, and she'll stay in the middle there. Let's do Arden's because he's been crushing it lately. So let's see if anything crazy happens. The maze, all in air, continues the most extensive alien ruins. Contains the most extensive alien ruins, including a massive maze. So it's going to be against intellect, 7. His intellect is 7. And then he's +1 for being future. So attacker's better by 1. He passes. So he gets to advance this. He gets 2 cards. He will also take an elite card. That's cool. And then he's dismissed. And he goes to green. So what's cool about that is now they're +1. And so these guys will get +1 on their adventuring, which we'll do off camera. Alright, we are entering the last turn. There's a variable turn setup that I think you could probably still use from the first game. And I think in the future I'll use that so that you can't kind of game it and know that the end's coming. One thing that I've been showing, and there's been movement points for it, but if you're advancing a track that's already, or a marker that's already on the track, you get to that, kind of like how it used to be with the Guardians. But now it's actually harder to get to it, because before the Guardian would start at the end and come back. So this is here, so the player would have to get here. So Arden Glen was on the marker, I just wasn't showing that. All of the challenges are showing. People have been having a hard time defeating them. Which I guess makes it easier to plan, but at this stage of the game, with only 1 turn left, it doesn't look like White's really going to be able to adventure. I've had Boris coming down here to get healed for about 3 turns. And really, again, at this stage of the game, it doesn't really matter too much. The end of the game came up really quickly. Arden got his artifact to take to the Lith and then just never got up there. And again, he's not going to have time to get up there now. So we'll see how it plays out. Everyone's going to kind of scramble to do stuff. Black would like to kill somebody, as is their nature, but it doesn't look like they're going to have that opportunity anywhere. We'll try to figure it out. Okay, that is the end of turn 12. The White's turn was really boring. Nothing really happened. Black tried to make some stuff happen. Had 2 people able to get into the Lith and sacrifice some cards to her. Let's tally it up. So from that Lith, they got 2. If Arden had gotten his in, they'd get 3 points there. So the labyrinths work a little bit differently than I was expecting. It's actually whoever has the most in each labyrinth. So Black used to have one in there. They would have gotten a point for that. So White gets a point here and there. Black gets 1 there. The base totals are you can go into your enemy's base and destroy things. Nobody did that. For some reason I don't focus on that, but there's some points there. Just 1 point. You get points for having enemies in prison. You get 3 points for every enemy locked in prison. You can choose to send them there when they KIA. They go in there with 1 hit point. The thing though is that they're locked in prison. They could possibly get bailed out. That's a lot of points to have somebody, even more than having killed them. So it does make sense to imprison them, because it's 3 for each enemy. So there's potential 3 points there. But nobody did that. Wounded, you get a point for each of your enemies that are wounded. We have 2 here, 1 there. He tried to get healed, which would have helped, but he was banished. It's an honor rating, and he only has 3 honor, so that's not good. And then you get 2 points for every additional enemy, or each additional character you have alive. So they have 1 dead, they have 2 dead. So you get 2 points there. Black won 7-3 on achievements. And that is the game. Again, I don't really like the known ending point. I think with time or with turns, it still ends up being about the same, with being able to know when the end is coming. I know I said a lot of things I didn't like about this game. The differences with the rulebook and that kind of thing. The bonuses are these huge character cards. The nice components. The new components are great. If you own Duel of Ages 1, I don't know that you need to buy this, but if you don't have the first one, I highly recommend this game. I'm actually going to get rid of my Duel of Ages 1 set because of this one. It's a great set. I'm going to save up for the master set. The cards really, as skeptical as I was, the cards really make the game fly. Just resolving things is bam, 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 bam. Really great. Duel of Ages 2, highly recommended. Lots of fun.